episode 95, sponsored by bckimonos.ca. Today we got Montreal Bantamweight Brandon Lee, as well as MMA Lab owner and coach John Crouch. Let's do it. Hello, folks. How are you? Welcome to episode 95 here of FLA Exposure. Thanks for joining us. Thanks for tuning in. It's been a hell of a day out here on the East Coast. Beautiful day, nonetheless. I just want to, first of all, I guess, start this episode by, prayers to Lebanon. Terrible thing here. Another god-awful thing here in 2020. So prayers to anybody involved and families and lots of love to you. As well, let's give a quick shout out to our sponsor, Brett Cooper, or BC Kimonos, we'll call them. We don't want to shout them out by name, but BC Kimonos, check them out, bckimonos.ca. Been supporting us in the East Coast for a hell of a long time. All right, folks. Unfortunately, we couldn't be joined by Mr. John Crouch. He's having some issues. He's actually in Connecticut right now for the Benson Henderson Michael Chandler 2. That takes place this upcoming Friday. So he's a little bit busy with that, dealing with some things. So thanks to John, super great guy, and we'll try to get him on a future episode. Anyway, let's get right into it here with another stud, a Canadian stud, I guess we'll call him. This guy, he's a 1-0 as a pro. He's from H20. We've had a few of these athletes from Richard Ho's gym, H20 in Montreal, in the last couple of weeks. Adam Sacco, Michael Dufour, Frederick Duprat. I butchered that. Either way, it doesn't matter. Really funny guy. And now Brandon Lee. So Brandon, he comes to us, like I said, out of Montreal, but 1-0 as a pro, but definitely not inexperienced. 10 amateur fights and probably about 20 street fights, if I'm guessing correctly. But he's a very, very talented guy, and he's got a big future in the sport. So I've been following him for a little bit, and I kind of reached out to him, thought it'd be nice to bring him on. So without further ado, let's bring him on. Mr. Brandon Lee, how are you, sir?
Hey, I'm good, and you?
Awesome, man. Thanks again for joining us. Really appreciate it.
Yeah, it's been a bit of a rush. I was like trying to get home, and then with the traffic in Montreal, it's all crazy. So,
well, I appreciate your patience very much, sir.
Yeah, it's all good.
Yeah, it's like I said, we had our first guest couldn't come on, unfortunately. So for anybody who isn't aware, Brandon rushed home, and I actually screwed up a couple things with this podcast for him. So he's been very patient with me. So thank you for that, man. Let's get into it. I guess that you already spoke about it. Here you're in Montreal.
Yeah.
Traffic in Montreal sucks to begin with. What's it like right now?
Actually, it's not as bad as usual, but still it's still bad, when it's rush hour. We still have traffic, but it's I guess the rush hour is a little bit shorter than usual.
That's good.
Because of COVID, there's a lot of people, I guess, working from home and stuff.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's a bit shorter, but still when it's rush hour, it's crazy. There's a bunch of people, and
so. It's definitely my favorite city, though, in Canada. If anybody, not that anybody would ask, but I just, it's one of those cities, man, that you can always have a good time. The people are great. The women are beautiful. It's a fantastic place. Yeah. And the jiu-jitsu and MMA is definitely.
Oh, it's amazing. That's why I moved here, actually, because before that, I was actually living in Quebec City. So at the beginning, when I was starting to come to H20, I was driving back and forth. I would do a 3-hour drive, go to the gym, train, and then 3-hour drive back home.
Wow, incredible! Good for you.
Yeah. It's and then just because all the training partners, the coaches, and everything was just more refined and so much better over there, I decided to move and then make it home.
Yeah, well, and did you notice anything from that? Like, obviously the different partners, different training partners and stuff, but did you notice your ability to recover changed in any way since you didn't have to do that drive? I notice when I drive a lot and then I train home, the next day I'm very, I'm not stiff, but I'm swollen almost.
Yeah. Yes, the recovery was, better, but I was lucky enough that when I was actually going to Montreal and train, sometimes I would stay for like 2 or 3 days.
Nice.
And then Richard, my coach, was letting me sleep on the couch in the basement, so I was able to get some rest in between trainings and recover from the hard sessions. So I was lucky enough to have that. But yes, for sure, the driving was not as bad, just because I could stay, just beside the gym.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, yeah. Do you cross train as well? Do you still spend a little time in Quebec City, or?
Not really.
No.
If I'm there for vacation, or if I'm there for a little bit, I know I'm still friends with all the guys over there. So if ever I need to train, I know the door is open.
Yeah.
I'm still, I'm all the guys over there. They're amazing, super talented. Especially the jiu-jitsu scene in Quebec
Yeah.
City. There's so many
McRoy.
good guys. Yeah, Mekwa. Yeah. We train at the same gym. Sampa.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
So yeah, that's where I met him, actually. So he's
Nice.
super talented and
Very
very
talented.
knowledgeable.
Yeah, he is. He's like one of those just all around good guys that just can absolutely kill you too. It's just,
Yeah.
it's a very, he drove out to Nova Scotia for a tournament I did back in the day. Like it was called the Nova Scotia Open, but he
Okay.
came out and competed both days, gi and no gi, and there was big belts on the line. He came out and just took house, man. He had a tough
Yeah. He's a
match in the
beast.
finals, but he is a beast, man. But how'd you get into martial arts? What's your story?
I did martial arts when I was younger, like probably 7 or 8 years old, but
Okay.
nothing super competitive. Or I was just doing it for fun, and to be confident, because when I was young, I was super short and small, and in school you get bullied and stuff.
Yeah, yeah.
So my parents just put me into martial arts just to, feel better about myself, maybe.
Nice.
And then
Worked.
after that, yeah, it worked.
That's right.
Definitely. So yeah, I played hockey after for a bit, and then around 17 years old, I just got back into martial arts because I wanted to compete. I wanted to get better and see how far can I push it.
Nice.
And from then I just never stopped, and I kept going.
Is that what it is for you? Like, I'm always amazed. Like, again, I talk about this a lot, maybe too much, but I'm not like a brown belt in jiu-jitsu, but I'm a shitty competitor. I don't have that in me, but I'm always amazed at people who are just like, as a promoter or as a fan,
Yeah.
the competitive fire is something that it just is incredible.
It's something it's something you need to have. For
Yeah.
me, when I was back in just playing hockey,
Mhm.
I remember I was always getting frustrated because we would lose a game, and I would be like, fuck, like I played a good game, how come we lose that game? Like I felt I just took it so
Couldn't make a
personal.
difference yourself.
Yeah, and that's me also one of the reason I liked this sport, because even though in the gym you need training partners, you need teammates, but once it's day, you need to fight. It's fight day. It's all about you. You're alone in the cage. You're alone. You have to do it yourself. So if you make a mistake, it's on you. It's not on your teammate or your coach or whatever. It's you.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
that's what I like about it.
Yeah, it's badass, man. I think it's there's spectrums of it. There's people who are like, I don't care. I want we get messages all the time. I just want to fight. Like who people have no experience at all, and it's like I don't know if that's as badass or stupid. But then
A bit of both, maybe.
kind of a bit of both, right? But then like you look at people who are like really high level and get in there and just like they know that like the other person's going to bring it and they want that because that's going to bring their level higher, right? And that's the beauty of the sport, man. Like you said, there's only two people in there, right? And unfortunately, loss. There, what I'm noticing, I guess that's the biggest difference between boxing and MMA, man. Is like and fighters handle it much better too. Losses, they really do in MMA.
Yes, because it's such a chess game. You make one mistake and it can cost you the win. Because there's so many ways the fight can end. You can get submitted, you can get knocked out, you can anything can happen. In boxing, it's the same thing. Like anything can happen, but still, I feel like MMA, you have way more options. There's too much involved at the same time. That's why you lose maybe a fight, but you haven't lost the whole thing. Your career is not over. Because you can always improve. You can always look back and see, I made this move, this thing, or that's why it's more like a chess game. People that play chess, they need to lose game in order to get better and to learn and to figure out the strategy for the next one and the next one and the next one. So I think that's why people in this sport maybe handle it better.
Well
Like
said,
me,
man.
I have a coach, Jeremy McNamara. I don't know if you ever heard of him.
No.
He's a very, very good boxer and very knowledgeable. I started working with him in my last, my first pro fight.
Yeah.
We were working together before, but more seriously, for my first pro fight. And this guy is just a wizard when it comes to chess. And he approached the game really like a game of chess. And that's what I really like about him too. Like he's super strategic, and then he just brings this mental game that's much different than any other people I ever met or any other coaches. And it's something that really got me.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Excuse me. I don't have COVID, and it can't come through. It cannot come through the screen.
No, you can't.
But shout out to our friends here at Ruddy that some nice masks for us. But yeah, it's exactly what you said. And having mentors is something that's so important. Like people kind of made fun of Conor McGregor when he brought in Ido Portal or whatever his name was for body movement and all that kind of stuff. But a lot of people do different things to make them successful at this sport. And you have to it's not just cross training at different gyms. It's cross training from 5 different disciplines or strength and conditioning or whatever the hell it happens to be. Right.
Yeah. Like me, in my first pro fight, that's one thing that I really wanted, is to be surrounded by the best in every aspect. So I had my head coach, Richard, which is, I think it's the best. He's just able to, make a strategy and then, think different and bring, I think he can bring everything together. And I have like the best in conditioning. I have Ryan Ortizo for conditioning. I had diet with GF Godreau. I had Jeremy for my striking and boxing. So I was also cross training at TriStar for grappling. So that's what I think you need to do. To be successful, you just need to surround yourself with the best of every aspect.
Yeah, no, it's true. And not just in sport, in life too, right? Like you have to challenge yourself. Yeah. Like you have to push yourself. Like if, whatever it happens to be, I think it's important that's how you grow as a person. And like, you don't listen to some schmuck like me on here talking, right? But, everybody in life actually, that's one thing that I'm big on. Everybody's got a story to tell, man. And you can learn from everybody, whether they're a doctor, a lawyer, a garbage man, or fucking whatever.
That's true. Like you learn from everyone, and no matter how old or whatever, you can still learn from them. Definitely, that is something that I learned myself too throughout the years. With fighting and stuff, I met so many different people that I noticed that every single person had something to bring and something to teach me, and that's super. I'm super grateful for that too.
Yeah, well, it's important, man. Like, and it goes both ways too. Like people who are older too, are like sometimes should be like, oh, okay, wait a minute, God, that kid's really smart, or that whatever, right? And there's so many talented and smart people in this world, man. You got to utilize those people. So good for you. That's any advantage you can get in this goddamn sport, right? To get ahead, whether it's outside or inside the cage, it's important. Other than TRT.
Other than TRT. No, I'm very blessed. I know you talk to a lot of my teammates at H20, and the atmosphere there at the gym, and every guy is super competitive.
I love that,
and I think it's healthy. You need that in the gym. You need guys to kick your ass. One day, and then the other day it's your turn. And they bring something new at the gym because they cross train somewhere else or they did something somewhere else, and then. You're always back and forth with them. So I think that's one of the reasons we're all so successful and
tight.
Yeah. Definitely.
It's a respect. It's a deep respect, that you can only get it by getting on the mats, man. There's only one way to learn and get respect at this. You can tweet out shit. You can do all that, like media, whoever you are, you can tweet all you like. But until you step on those mats, man, I don't know. It's hard to get any respect, even from a lonely old me, like a guy who doesn't compete a lot, but I spent a shit ton of time on the mats, right? And some things are just muscle memory, and it's important, man.
You that's how you gain that respect. When you walk in first day in the new gym, you're like fresh meat. Everyone wants to get you.
Yeah.
So you need to earn that respect.
Yeah. What's a sparring session like there? It's obviously, you said it's competitive. But to me, like, a lot of people complain about hard sparring sessions now, but 50-50 to me, like, I don't know, that's a pretty regular pace, I would think, that people are keeping now.
The sparring sessions, it really depends on like where you're at in your camp. If you're preparing for a fight or if you're not preparing for a fight. We like to do harder sparring outside of camp, because if you get injured or that's when you go harder. So it really depends, but yeah, for sure we have days where you go hard and you get hit, or there's this where your teammates are gonna push you a lot, and there's other days where you just play smart, you go light, you just touch par, and you practice your timing, your defense or whatever. So yeah, it really depends, but we have both spectrum. We have like hard sparring and then light sparring.
Nice.
We have both.
That's a spectrum that I think, like, more promotions need to cover. Ourselves in general, ourselves, I guess, first. Like, you can give that quick 30 seconds of sparring footage or whatever in a promo video, but the anatomy of how the gym actually works, I think, is a super cool thing. Like I don't know why gyms more don't kind of use that reality show aspect of, because obviously a lot of secrets and shit gets out too, but
there's a bunch of I think you have a recipe. If you make the best spaghetti dish ever, sometimes you want to keep some secret for yourself. I think it's the same with the gyms. Every gym has their own little secrets in terms of preparing their fighters and what they do. Are they doing more mental, or are they doing more physical? So I think every gym has their own secrets, and I think it's important. I think that is what makes it interesting, for gyms to compete against each other and stuff. You want to test your recipe against the other one. Who makes the best spaghetti?
Yeah, that's right. I always say that in business. At the end of the day, you can do whatever you want, but it's at the end of the day, it's who makes the best hamburgers.
Yeah,
it's as simple as that.
Yeah.
And that's what the guy from Wendy's always said. He said they can have as much bullshit as all they want, but it's who makes the best hamburgers is what it comes down to. Yeah. And it's true, right? And I think it's cross training is super important, but it's also, it's important. Like in the NHL, you don't see the Maple Leafs and the Bruins practicing together.
No.
Right? No. So if you're a professional athlete, it's a little, I don't know. It's everybody. What's your feeling on that?
On what? Like on the cross training?
Yeah, like a lot of people cross train a lot.
Yeah, I think it's good. Like I don't think it should be something prohibited or something that you should not do. I think you should do it, but you should also be careful on who you train with. Are they going to be a future opponent, or are they going to be, your next fight or something? You need to be careful on with who you train. But I think you should cross train, and you should, try different gyms, because at some point, when you train always at the same gym, you get comfortable, and then you get always the same partners, and you kind of know them, so you don't have that unexpected factor anymore. And I think that you should always be on your toe. When you train, you should always have that surprise, because in the fight, it's gonna show. For me, I don't know if you saw my last fight, but the guy came out, pretty hard, and I was pretty surprised. He got me with some good shot, a good knee to the face that shocked me. You know, so I was surprised. But if I would have never cross trained, or if I would have never just stayed in my comfort zone in the fight, it would have shown that I would have quit. You know, so I think what saved me in my last fight was that experience. You know, because I had quite a bit of amateur fight, and also just cross training with other guys that would, you know, keep me on the edge all the time.
Interesting. Yeah. It's true. It's and why did you walk into a martial arts club in the first place? Really? Like me, I look at me, I'm like, again, I'm not a great competitor, but why did I walk in there? I walked in there to challenge myself. And I've been uncomfortable many times in my jiu-jitsu life of going into different clubs or rolling with different people, but that's what kind of makes it fun.
Yeah. Well, the main reason why I did that is just because of my background. You know, when I was little, I was getting bullied a lot in school. You know, sometimes even getting beat up by 3-4 people, like you know, like really bad.
Fucking bullshit. Hate it.
Yeah, it's. I think that's one subject that, you know, I try to make people aware of it. You know, I was at H20, I was teaching some kids class, and I was like making people, you know, respect each other. You know, no matter what is if you're different, you're shorter, you're small, like you're bigger, whatever. Yeah, I want everyone at the same level, and I think that just off the bat, that's one of the reasons why I got into the martial art gym first, and then after that, I just fell in love with the competitive aspect. But at the very beginning, it was just to feel better about myself. You know, just trying to make myself better, and then see if, because when you live that when you're young, sometimes you have trouble overcoming stuff. You know, you start something and then you lose confidence about it, and then you just stop. And for me, I was like, oh no, I want to break that habit right away. So I just walk into the martial art gym, and then I made a promise to myself that I would not give up. I would just do it, and I would just, you know, go up and up and up and up and up, just as, you know, just to get better, and then just to, you know, feel that I can actually achieve something from nothing, and then after that, just build on it.
Good for you. Wow. And at a young age, you did that.
Yeah, at a young age, I did that. Yeah.
Wow, very smart. Kudos to you. Yeah. I don't know how many people say kudos anymore, but
kudos. I don't. I've never heard that.
Good for you. You know, and it's really true at a young age to be able to be so smart. Because I look at that, like I dealt with kind of the same shit, like, you know, bullying and stuff, and it's so horrible, man. And I still struggle with it today, some of that stuff. And for you to overcome that at such a young age, and to just kind of put it aside and structure your fights and your mental wellness and your mental well-being around it for fights, it's good for you, man. Very cool. I like hearing that.
Yeah, it's and then I just felt that I wanted to do it for me, but also for others. You know, eventually one day, you know, when as I get, you know, bigger in the sport, and, you know, just in my life in general, the more I get successful, the more I want to impact people as well. Huge. You know, like I want to show that it's anything's doable. Like I'm not special. I don't want to say that, but it's like I'm just a regular guy that just tries stuff and then just trying to make the best out of everything. You know, so I just carry that.
But that's huge, because there's so many people, man. Like, I'm telling you, like, so many people. How many people do you know that doubt themselves every single day?
I know. Like, that's
you know, so day. People like you are motivating, whether you think it or not. Like, it motivates me right now. Like, it's true. Like, fuck, man, people suck. People can be assholes to one another. So to have people that can come out of it on the other side and be successful, that's what people need in the world, man. Good stories like that.
Yeah. That's something I'm trying to carry. You know, every time I see someone, you know, that want to start this project or want to do this thing, I'm like, man, just do it. Just go ahead. Just do it. Like, you're going to be able to do it. I'm 100% confident that they're going to be able to do it. You just need to put effort, time, and then there's no secret. There's no, I just do that super easy. Nothing, you know, there's nothing easy, but everything's doable.
Yeah, it's true. It's, whatever in life, if you want to do it, work hard. There's some luck involved in some things, the
Yeah,
timing and everything, but without luck, without hard work, a lot of luck won't happen too, right? So
yeah,
it's you know, it's a pretty cliche saying, but very true.
yeah,
What I guess we'll segue out of that for a little bit into like fighting in Quebec and
yeah.
we'll call it bullshit scene that
It's
is
I don't know.
in Canada right now. It's crazy anyway. It's like
Yeah.
I don't understand how fighters are coming and going out of the country, which I fully support, by the way, but we can't put our own fights on here. Like that makes no sense to me at all.
That's terrible. I
Like,
don't even know if bullshit is the good word. I
no,
think
man, it's
we
bananas.
need something heavier than that. But
Yeah.
that's bad, honestly. Like I feel like the government is like supporting all the business, and then they want to like bring the economy back, and they want to do everything to make everything better.
Hmm.
But we're there too. We're helping the economy. We're making shows like the promoters. They're making money, so that like
Hmm.
it's also part of the economy. Like
Huge part.
it's I don't think you should put anything aside. I think if you're gonna do something, just bring everyone in. Don't put some people just beside and be like, oh, later we're gonna think about you, or just bring everyone together, and then we're all gonna figure out together.
Yeah, it's
I
true. It's again going back to our proposal. Our proposal was over 20 pages long, and it was. And I get it, the safety aspect of it, but like the way our proposal is, there's like we propose just maritime only fighters too, which
yeah
makes no sense. There's no cases. There's 2 active cases, I think, in 4 problems or something. So it's
yeah
just anyway, we
no, it's
can't cry
bad.
over spilled milk, but the milk's gone sour.
Yeah. And then in Quebec too, like there's no amateur competition allowed. Like yeah, everyone needs to do it like underground, or do their own thing
Yeah,
quietly somewhere. No publicity, no nothing. But that doesn't help for the fighters. The up and coming guys. Young guys
yeah,
that they're hungry. They want to fight. They want to get better. They want to get experience.
yeah.
It's kind of like just putting a stick in
Well,
their
there is a fight coming up this weekend, isn't there?
August 8th or
Is that
something.
this weekend?
MFL, is
Yeah,
that
that's
it?
this weekend.
Yeah, but that's actually going on in the reserve
Is
in
it?
Oka. Yeah,
Okay.
so that's I think that's
Excuse
some
me.
of the fights are happening over there. In Oka and Kanawaki.
Nice.
They're able to do shows over there, which is pretty nice. They're able to
Man,
support the local guys,
that's
so
it. If
it's
they can get away with it and do it, I support it 100%, man. No question about it. Like, whatever. At this point, like, as long as it's safe, which is the key, right? Which I'm sure it
yeah.
will be. And I don't know. Fuck, I don't know. I'm thinking about starting street beefs,
Yeah.
Nova Scotia street beefs.
Yeah, just
Like,
like Kimbo Slice back in the days on YouTube,
that's it.
street
That's it.
fights. That
Have you ever seen
Masvidal,
that?
Masvidal fought
Man,
on that,
yeah.
and see
Great.
where he is now. So
That's right. That's right. Who knows? Who
yeah,
knows? Well, there's lots of. Have you seen this like street beefs on YouTube? Have you seen
no,
that? Oh
what's
man,
that?
I don't know. It's like some guy got like cardboard boxes. No, like wood. He's got like a wooden fence and it's
Okay.
sprayed on. It's like street beefs. His name's Scarface, and it's got like hundreds, like millions of views. And it's just
Oh
these
yeah.
guys fight in the backyard. But it's like there's an announcer and a ref. Fucking hilarious. It's
Oh yeah.
terrible.
I'm gonna definitely watch it.
It's
I'm gonna.
terrible. It's so bad. But we could do the same thing. I
Yeah.
don't know. I don't know how much COVID testing's going in at street beefs.
Oh man, I don't think there's none. I
No,
don't think there's
none.
nothing.
Yeah.
As long as you
We're
have a beef, you're good.
that's right. Yeah, that's what it is. Like two guys hate one another, so they come and they fight in this guy's backyard. But um, so yeah, we're looking at doing something in August or in the fall.
Okay. Nice.
There is a company out here called Rogue Grappling who does they do great grappling tournaments like jiu-jitsu tournaments out here in like a event once a year for a belt. It's like a Grand Prix. The winners of their kind of events go and they compete for this belt. So they're doing something in August, which is cool.
Oh yeah,
And
that's pretty
then
nice.
we're probably going to try because we're close to the rest of the country here, right? So if you come to the Maritimes, you have to quarantine for 2 weeks. Whereas the
Oh
rest of the country, you can go from province to
yeah,
province,
yeah.
right?
You can go. Yeah, yeah.
So, excuse me, Jesus. Anyway, so yeah, so long story short, as soon as the country opens up, we're probably going to do something. Not a fight event, obviously. We're not going to
Oh,
go.
you can't put on shows like at all, like even when it.
If we
Oh,
did it like they did in Oka, then we'd lose our license.
oh shit. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. So you're
So
better. Yeah, it's better not
it's
to.
so 2021 will be our aim for shows here, unless it opens up. Like
Yeah.
there's other promotions saying they're going to do shows too. Everybody's saying they're going to do shows, but let me tell you, nobody's proposal was better than ours, man. Like I'm telling you right now. So if anybody's going to get, and I could be wrong, money talks. I'm just a fool sometimes, right?
Yeah.
But I think if anybody's going to get a show together, I think it's truly us, or maybe Fight Night might be able to pull something together out west. But I don't know. If not, we'll do a grappling event or something
Okay.
like that in the cage. Maybe a couple brackets for money or something.
Yeah. 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 Oh,
Something
that's
like that.
nice.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, maybe heel hooks, man. Only we had like Taza and Ethan and all those guys down here many times for events. Have you ever rolled with those guys?
Never rolled with them. Every time I was at TriStar, they were not there. I guess because I know they do a lot of training in New York.
Yeah,
So they're traveling a lot, and I guess they have their own team. Like
yeah,
when I do cross train at TriStar, it's the pro. It's like it's like all MMA fighters together,
nice.
and then it's a grappling session. I actually go with Fred.
Oh, nice.
Fred Dupra.
Yeah, he's hilarious, man. You guys are
man,
good. I love all your whole crew, man. You guys are awesome. Good, easygoing people.
Yeah. Yeah, he's a nice guy. He's one of my best buddy in and out of the gym too. So
It's funny. I was going to ask you who's the funniest guy in the gym, so it's probably Freddie.
I think it's Fred. Yeah, no matter.
Yeah.
I think it's Fred, one of the funniest guy. Him and then also Mick Four. These two together, it's crazy. You should,
I love it.
you should. If you want to get them on that spicy challenge or something, you should make
Yes.
it sort of a competitive.
Will they do it?
I think if you make it competitive, if there's something on the line, I think they'll do it. If you can make those two guys, jump on this on a competition or something, I'm on it too.
All right. That's a good idea, actually. Gym challenge.
Yeah,
I like it.
I don't know how.
Are you challenging them right now? Is that what you're doing?
Yeah, I'm challenging them. I don't know if they're watching now, but I'm challenging them on that.
There you go. Perfect. There's a challenge on the one chunk challenge. I love it. H20 one chunk challenge. We'll have to get 4 or 5 of you on there, and we'll get you all there at the same time. You can all eat it on a podcast at the same time.
Have you done it?
No.
You haven't done it?
No, hell no.
I wanted to know what it feels like, because I've seen like all kinds of challenge, like the one chip challenge too.
Okay. Yeah.
So
same
it's like
thing.
1 million Scoville or something super insane.
This is like oh shit, sorry. So it's like peanuts, real butter, Carolina Reaper pepper, all in one bite with ghost peppers on top of it.
Oh fuck!
That's
that's hot.
Yeah, it's nasty. It's like.
But what's the challenge? You need to eat it and then no water for 1 minute or something.
For 10 minutes.
For 10 minutes, no water, no nothing for 10 minutes.
No, nothing. No, nothing. Yeah, the last guy had to take his pants off.
What?
Yeah, he had to take his pants off on the podcast. It was too hot.
Jesus.
Yeah, and anybody, if they eat it, that to me, that's you got the challenge. I don't know.
Yeah, but the 10 minute, that's
Fred
says yes.
Fred says yes.
Where's
there we
Mick?
go.
Where's Mick?
Mick do 4. That's it. H20 one chunk challenge.
All right, so you got 2 guys. We need one more. We need Mick or even any other guys.
2 more. We'll get 2 more.
2 more. Let's go 2 more.
No problem. We'll send those out to you guys and get you on there eating them online. I love it. Hilarious. Before we get going, man, a couple just random questions for you.
Yeah.
You've been at this a hell of a long time out here on the East Coast. There's for us, we're a new promotion too. We're we've done lots of grappling events, but not so many MMA events.
Yeah.
For amateur fighters, what's important to an amateur fighter?
What's important? You need experience. You need to fight. You need to, because you need to be active. For me, as an amateur fighter, that's what I was looking for. Like just to be active, just piling up fights one after each other. Especially in amateur, you're not cutting that much weight, so your body doesn't get stressed, as much as if you would have to do a big weight cut. So as an amateur, it's important to just get fights. Like Fight Quest, that's one of their big thing is they're pretty accurate. So if you want to fight every show, it's the best. They have a schedule. They just come up with a schedule and just follow that schedule. Like just be accurate on the schedule and consistent, and that's what you need. You need as an amateur, you just need a consistent fight. Just
because you didn't have a lot of canceled fights. You had a few, like 2 or 3, I think, but not a lot.
No, not a lot. I was just fighting and just taking fights one after each other as much as possible. Because when I first started amateur fights, they were legal, they were allowed, so there were shows pretty much everywhere. And then it got bad. So for a couple of years, I couldn't really fight in MMA. So then I did some kickboxing fights, that were not on Tapology or on the record. So I did some kickboxing fights. I was also competing in jiu-jitsu also as well.
Nice.
So
Submission X United.
SAU, Grappling Industries. I can't remember all the venues that I did, but I did quite a lot.
Nice.
And then I was just trying to stay active. And then once the MMA got back, Fight Quest and everything, I just did fights just back to back.
It's important, man. Getting that cage time, that time inside. You said. There's so many looks, cross training, mat time, but it's hard to experience what's going to. And I'm saying this as someone who doesn't know, but like once the door closes, things are a little bit different.
Yeah. You need experience. Like for me, I'm happy because my amateur career not only had like a decent amount of fights, I also had like length. Also, I was able to, get title fights and also do all 5 rounds or all 3 minute, 3 rounds, just get experience and then, lose the first round and then win the second 2 or lose the first one and then, or just different stuff, you need to experience that, be in deep waters, getting takedown, you can't get up, but you got to work,
you need to lose.
Up. You need to lose.
You need to get your ass kicked, right?
Yeah, you need things and then just trying things up too. Like if try things in the fight. If play with the strategy, play with you need to find also your style. What type of fighter are you? Are you more of a grappler, more of a striker? You need to find yourself as well. So that's why you need amateur fight just to figure out what's your style. What do you prefer? Where are you comfortable? Because in the cage, you need to be able to relax and then recover because at some point it's gonna like rush, blast. Yeah. But you also need to find where you can be comfortable and then get your air and then recover.
Yeah, there's so much more to the sport than just throwing punches for sure.
No,
Scott's got a question there. I think you kind of answered it there at the same. Advice for anybody start training. You answered it pretty well. Any other advice that you'd add to that?
If I have an advice, it's just don't wait. Start now. Do it now. Just sign up, do it, and then don't put too much stress on your shoulder. Like in terms of I want to do this or do that. Just have it in your mind, but don't put too much stress over it because eventually it's gonna drain you, and then you're kind of like you're gonna lose that maybe that passion or that fire inside you. So just don't stress over it. Just do it. Embrace the journey and just keep going. That way it's gonna be easy. For sure you're gonna have hard times, but it's gonna be easier along the way, and that's why you're gonna be able to last and have a long career.
Yeah, you're gonna love it. Well, well said, advice, man. And I think you yourself. How old are you, if you don't mind me asking?
I'm 25.
Yeah, man. You guys, I'm so jealous. I'm so jealous. When I was 25, I was like I told Fred there, I was bartending. I think I was bartending on Saint Laurent at Buonanotte, a restaurant there.
Okay.
That's for a while and living life in a different way in Montreal. But
Yeah.
it's a cool city, man. Hopefully I can get up there and train and spend some time with H2O and take my lickings up there. I'd be honored to come up and chat. And sometime I hope to get Mr. Richard Ho on the podcast. I know he doesn't talk a lot. He doesn't do a lot of podcasts. He does them randomly, but
No, he does it randomly. But I'm sure if you reach out to him and then
we'll get him on the One Chunk Challenge too.
Yeah, if he's down for it, but yeah, I know Richard's he's a pretty open guy, very nice guy. So I'm sure if you give him the opportunity, I'm pretty sure he will take it. I don't know. I can't speak out for him, but
of course,
he's a nice guy.
Well, we'll reach out. Well, thank you so much, man, for joining us. I got to say, you're a very easy guy to talk to and
thank you.
Super, intellectual. And I think you're going to go very far in the sport and keep it up, man. Keep being a leader in positive, like that mental health stuff. Again, I've dealt with it myself. I still deal with it. So if you ever want to reach out and chat, by all means, I can use a positive note every single day, man. So lots of love to you and keep spreading the good vibes.
Thank you. Thank you for having me.
All right, man. Mr. Brandon Lee. There you have it, folks. Awesome. Very cool. Those are the kind of stories I love, folks. Obviously positive and healthy and positive mental health. It certainly goes a long way. So thanks for being a great ambassador for that, Brandon, and also for our sport. Yeah, great guy. Great chat. My apologies for John Crouch not being able to make it. As I said, folks, he's a little hung up there in Connecticut with Benson Henderson down there for Bellator 243 on Friday night. He's fighting Michael Chandler for the final, for the second time, I guess, not final time. Anyway, thanks again. This episode, BC Kimonos. Check them out, bckimonos.ca. Been supporting here on the East Coast since 2014. As well, check out all of our fantastic sponsors located behind us. We will be doing a massive prize pool coming up here for episode 100 with items from all of our sponsors. Check out our apparel page online, obviously, fightleagueatlantic.com. Lots of apparel on there, hoodies and T-shirts and other apparel to come. Anyway, folks, I would say if you can be anything in this world, be kind. Unfortunately, that's what Ellen said. So Ellen's in a lot of shit right now. So just be fucking nice. See ya. Thanks for tuning in and make sure to hit that subscribe button. As always, thanks to our friends and sponsors. Without you, none of this is possible.